Hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar on Intelligent Supply Chain with Concord Pro. My name is Kelly Farler. I'm a Technical Solutions Specialist for Altium. I will be hosting the presentation today and will pass to my colleague Aidan for the product demo. Today we are focusing on supply chain and how Altium's Concord Pro can help. Do a quick intro of Concord Pro, factors affecting your supply chain, and then how you can improve your supply chain with Concord Pro. And then Aidan will do a product demo for us. Concord Pro is a complete system for component management available both on premises or on Altium's cloud-based platform, A365. It has a standardized approach to the organization of libraries. It also has up-to-date information about components, availability, cost, alternatives, and current status. We're going to focus on the last aspect today. Many factors can affect your supply chain. Supply and demand, labor disputes, conflicts, inflation, distribution delays, trade wars, tariffs, and pandemics. We are currently witnessing supply chain disruption due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Diving a bit more into our current disruption, IPC surveyed their member companies, and about 65% are experiencing delayed shipments of 4 to 6 weeks. Asking them how long they thought it would take for the supply chain to normalize, the expectation is around 2 quarters, but there was a percentage of folks that weren't sure and it was too soon to tell. This was given the data available in March 2020, and that could change if the situation dramatically changes. The impacts of a supply chain disruption on your design cycle is that your design may not be able to be released on time. Your PC fab and PC assembly can be affected. The time you set aside for your test and QA cycles could be compressed. If you were doing some software development on top of your board design, that team will now be delayed, and this can cause revenue implications for you. You may lose contracts, or you may experience some pricing changes due to timing and if there were incentives in your contract. This can cause corporate implications such as a competitive disadvantage, or in the worst case, staffing changes. Basically, disruptions put your schedule and your costs at risk. To mitigate that risk, you can turn to Altium's Concord Pro. Altium's Concord Pro is connected to global suppliers 24/7 to give you accurate pricing and availability updates. There is manufacturer lifecycle status for over 650,000 parts. That data comes directly from verified suppliers, and this checkmark symbol is used in the tool to denote a verified supplier, and I'll point that out on some other slides. Lifecycle data comes from highly vetted, trusted sources, the manufacturers themselves and/or their authorized distributors. This enables the most accurate and relevant data so you can limit your risks due to a supply chain disruption. Component searches on the internet are time-consuming and may not have all the data you need. It can take several clicks to find a manufacturer, part cost, and then in-stock inventory. In Concord Pro, you have optimized searching. You can search for a part and you have manufacturer data immediately available. The green IC symbol indicates that there is also a footprint and symbol available, so you don't need to additionally search or create those. There are over 100 approved and verified suppliers available at your fingertips in Concord Pro. The verified checkmark shows up here next to my suppliers, and you can see that my suppliers are worldwide suppliers. I can choose to filter out certain countries, or I can filter out certain suppliers based on my relationships with them. Intelligent control of your supply chain is important because your BOM is the largest percentage contributing to your PCB cost. Optimizing your BOM with an intelligent supply chain from Concord Pro can help reduce the risk of schedule or cost impacts to your design. If you manage your BOM in Excel, it's a manual process. You, as a designer or your component engineer, analyze the BOM and you may find that parts are unavailable or don't meet your corporate standards. Changing these out requires a manual search and maybe even board rework, which can add cost and schedule time. By using an intelligent BOM, as in Altium Concord Pro, you have parts available with accurate cost and availability automatically, which can save both time and money. Here's a detailed picture of supply chain information in Concord Pro. This shows the cost, availability, footprint of my parts, and it shows multiple suppliers, suppliers that I enabled earlier in the process, and you can see what kind of stock they have, what the cost is, and if in fact you are using the latest rev. You can see on the right under my capacitor that I am using the latest rev of that capacitor, so you can track the revisions of parts. Concord Pro has a unique feature called Where Used. This can be really helpful in intelligent management of your BOM. You can search across projects for commonly used components and optimize your cost by purchasing larger quantities. Or maybe you had a DFM issue with a part and you want to go make a change. You can use Where Used to find it from the component screen. Finally, if you come up with an obsolete or deprecated component, you can quickly identify those using Where Used and then replace and re-release your project. Concord Pro is a complete system for component management. It has a standardized approach to the organization of libraries and up-to-the-date information about components. Knowing the availability, cost, and alternatives for your parts allow you to intelligently manage your supply chain, costs, and schedule. I will now pass to Aidan for our demo.
I am a technical solutions engineer for Altium, specializing in Concord Pro. Before I joined Altium 8 months ago, I worked as a design, manufacturing, and supply chain engineer in the electronics industry. I'm here to show you how to manage your supply chain in Altium Concord Pro. I have Altium Designer open, version 20, the latest recommended version. On the right, I am logged into my A365 workspace with other workspaces also available to me that I'm using. Let's open a project coming from the server, from the clouds. I will go right to the active BOM. While the BOM is being updated, as you can see, it goes online to update all the components. For the latest version, we have revision state and revision status and manufacturer life cycles, which are unique to Concord Pro. Before I release my design for manufacturing, bill of material, in bill of material components, there are out of date or obsolete need to be fixed. I simply would select the out of date components just by going to update the latest revision. Now it's going through checks and points to the latest components from my library and being updated to the latest version, either the symbol or the footprint or where it is updated. As you can see, these are the parts that are being updated in my design. Before the BOM is released, should have a basically clear check marks. Other items such as you might have hardware parts, mounting holes, they are having like error messages such as no solution. Simply, we can just go and change the BOM status because they are in the BOM right now. Just by simply going to the properties, I can point to from standard BOM to no BOM, and also the other one. Now it's updated. It will not show in my BOM. Well, you also had an option for any hardware part just to go to manufacturer search and select maybe a screw or any hardware parts. This is what a component looks like in Active BOM. We have favorite suppliers listed here. I can pick up to 10 solution per supplier. We also have alternate manufacturers. I can add as many as I want. I usually keep 3 of them. As you can see here, we have stock numbers for this component coming from this supplier for prices for various quantities. We are using approved suppliers by Altium. Basically, it tells us that this supplier, before we select it for Altium to be used by our customers, they must meet the criteria that they would provide price updates and quantity on a regular basis. Could be this part, for example, could be updated every day or per minute or less than a minute. You can actually, if you click on a link here for any of the suppliers, it'll take you to their website, and you can see and check to see. You can actually validate the stock numbers and data that matches there. Also, you can see the COVID-19 updates basically on every supplier telling you that they're active and running in their business. And what you see here for the stock numbers, this is orderable today. As you see, there's no lead time. So any stock numbers listed here in your Active BOM are available today to be purchased and ordered for your design. We have favorite suppliers on the right. It's about, right now we have 132 suppliers. They all activated and available. They're under admin, and you can select and choose which one to use depending on what part of the world you are. We chose and selected global suppliers. For example, Arrow is number 1 based on 2019 rankings, Admin number 2, Future number 5, 7 and 8, etc. You can't select all of them because BOM management becomes a problem sending POs and purchase orders for every one of them. So these are the most active ones and the largest ones, and they have the capability and logistics to provide components for you. On the right, I have selected, I'm building 10 boards for prototypes, and price per board right now is $50. These are the components, and if I order 10 boards, it's $504. If I'm building a, let's see, maybe 100 boards, I can update it and the price changes. You can select any quantity that you want, depending what the product demand is. When I look at my suppliers, if I want to add more, let's say I only have 1 or 2, you can easily just go to manufacturer links and add another supplier from manufacturer part search. If you're not familiar with this, this is adding part choices to your bill of material. When you see the green chip, the IC, tells me that I have models. Models means I have footprint symbols and parameters. Also, supply part numbers available from all these suppliers. For example, these are not available right now, but if I scroll down, that I would pick the one that's available for me. Let's see if I click on this. You can see that these are available to me. And if I select the one with the correct price that meet my criteria, let's look at another one here. Let me say, okay, I'm happy with the pricing, quantities. I would select 2 of them and add them to my bill of material. They're available to me on the bottom. When you look at the error messages, that basically select the manufacturer partner, have no suppliers. I just have to rank them. So I will clean my error message listed there. Let's see, this one is not selected. I'll have to rank it to, let's see, to 1, and then the star is 2. Yep. You have to start your solution for Concord Pro. Okay, we have these available. Also, I'm also getting BOM checks in Active BOM. For example, like this component, which is a 200 ohm resistor, it tells me that it has duplicate value, and the value is duplicate. Also, my resistor network is also. So basically, we have 2 the same value resistors. One of them, one of the items is a resistor network, the other one an individual resistor. So it's telling me that, well, you have the same values. Maybe I would like to switch to using resistor networks or use some of the open available gates, or maybe add another resistor network. Well, we can easily fix this just by going to parameters options. Here it says duplicate value. I can just simply turn it off because I know what it is. There are also very good checks there, like duplicate designators, if you have like 2 R5s or any other ones. So this is where you fix it before you release your data. The other checks also, for example, if your supplier has not sent any information for more than a week or more than a week, that means there's a trouble there. They're not active. They're not sending the latest pricing ability to Octopart. So now this is fixed already. You also have to look at the other error messages. This one, for example, if I move on my cursor, it says manufacturer part number is not ranked. I'll just have to select this and now it'll get fixed. I think the same thing here. Very simply just go in and update it. What I do is just change this to 1. Last time this BOM was active, couple of weeks ago, this was number 1. Now something happened in supply chain, it changed to number 2, and I can start this, and now it'll clear my my error message. If I let's see what are changes to. I'm moving to volume production. Let's make this quantity 5,000. What we see here automatically by looking at the error messages says selected supply chain part number has. Let's see it again one more time. It tells me that I don't have enough stock here. Let's see if you have another one. The same thing here. Select the supply part number has insufficient stock. Obviously, if I click on it, I can see that I don't have enough numbers. There are only 26 available and 4 available here. The same thing here. All I have to do is automatically updates manufacturers, navigates to the one. This one has enough stock. I'll just have to make it 1. It's updated, and now it's green. I also have some, let's look at the manufacturers availability here. I have some Texas Instruments parts available to me. If I go to manufacturer one, here they are. And I know Texas Instruments is one of the suppliers that sells directly rather than going through a supplier. I'll open my provider list. And if I select, let's see, TI, and I know it's a TI store, and I will move it to maybe 8th position, something on top. So now I can select it, available. Now I can see that if I scroll down to the right, it is here. All I have to do is just change the ranking. Yeah, I'm buying directly from Texas Instruments. And if I look at the pricing, you can see it's cheaper than the other suppliers, than the other parts providers, actually. And if I go here, again, also available. And if I decide to stick to the supplier, I can simply just go to the supply list and let's see, just remove it. Yeah, it's gone. When design is clean, scrubbed, and all with green check marks, it would be released it could be released for manufacturing on a 365. Let's go look at it on a 365s. Okay, this is my BOM in a 365. As you can see here, what you see in blue is my design part number. If I look what's underneath, these are the manufacturers. You can see on the right component information listed, like the case number, reference designator, maximum operating temperature, which could be used for your reflow profile in assembly. If I scroll down further, you get the quantity. Also, you also get the comparing to your standards Excel spreadsheet bill of material. You get static numbers. Here we get the footprint, what it looks like. This is good for your manufacturer in assembly also. To see what it looks like, you get the name, you get the data sheet, mention operating temperature, power, if it's like a tape-in reel, etc. If I open, I have 4 solutions here. If I click on, let's see, this is my supplier. I can see the pricing for 1, 10, and various quantities available to me. Here's another one, the same. So you can look at the component choices available and decide which one to order. You also have alternate parts available to you. I advise you to talk to your procurement, your component engineer, whoever's in charge, to look at the data coming from ActiveBOM, and they can have intelligent choice on which components to use and release for manufacturing. And this is, again, available pricing today. There is no lead time and could be purchased today. Also, while working your design, let's see in your schematic, and your design is at 90% competency with ActiveBOM selected, you can place your order and lock your design price and quantity. Because if you wait for to finish your design, routing, adding planes, tuning, high speeds, planes, stitching, VS, etc., it might take, depending on design, 4 to 6 weeks. And if you wait that long, The stock numbers and pricing will change, and because they change on a daily basis also. With the pandemic going, you never know, somebody might bulk purchase some of the components and then you might get stuck and then reshuffle and go through the same process again.
Thank you, Aidan. In closing, we've seen how Concord Pro can help you manage your supply chain intelligently. Supply chain disruptions can result in schedule hits and additional cost. Concord Pro can help you mitigate those disruptions. If you have any questions about what we've presented here, please contact us at the email addresses shown, or you can request an evaluation at altium.com/Concord request evaluation. There's also more info at altium.com/Concord. Thank you for your time and attention.